Hello, everyone. This is some information that will help you figure out how to do the course sequence assignment. I realize that a lot of you do not have background in Excel and so on, and it's time to get that background. It really is. And so I'm going to show you a little bit about how to get that done. Now, I have set this so that you have to upload an Excel file. I want you to get used to using the Microsoft products because there are very few businesses that actually use the Chrome, Google, Sheets products. There are businesses that do, but you will find out as you go out and work in the industry that there is a ton of information tied into this one particular Excel. Automatic reports are run, dumped in Excel, manipulating Excel, sent to somebody else in Excel, and so on. And Excel is a much bigger, much more capable product than Sheets is. And so you need to get used to using it. And that's what you're going to turn in. You're going to turn in an Excel file, and eventually it'll all have formulas in it and so on. But right now we're going to show you just briefly how to copy some information off of EAC's page here and put it into Excel. Now, how I got here is I actually typed in, I'll just go here. I was looking up hex colors before, so I could just copy those. Anyway, let's just do Office 365. So this is how you get there. You go to the Office 365 login. Mine automatically logged in, obviously, because I've already logged in. But you would have to go through the login process that's shown in another video and then choose Excel. That's what you're going to do. I'm going to close that one down because I have one open over here that I'm using. All right, so I was actually in book 7 there. And so let's show you how to dump a file in here. Oh, let me also just review just a minute. If we go to Excel again here, in case you didn't catch this, click on blank workbook. That's what you want, is just a blank workbook, and it will open up a blank workbook, just like this. And now we're pretty much ready to dump some information in from some other page. So I'm going to go back to EAC. I'm going to go over to current students, because that's what you are. I'm going to go and say, you know what, I want to look at the program I'm in. So I'm going to dig down into that. We need to have them change this so it's applied computer science instead of just computers. And here we are. Now we're on the computers page. These links actually take you to these certificates and certifications, just information about them. It takes you away from the page, basically. And you're looking at career paths and so on and so on. And then finally, the program details are down below. So I'm going to pull up Cybersecurity Associates of Applied Science. This is going to be the 4-semester plan. In other words, you're going to be here for 2 years and you're going to get this done. Now, again, that's why this is small. Yours may be, all right, it may look like this, and you may have to control minus to make that smaller so that you can manipulate it better. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to go ahead and copy this information. And I'm going to control C that. Control C. And I'm going to come over here, and I always like to leave a little gap at the top because that's the way I learned. And there is my information dumped into that field for me. Now you'll notice that it didn't quite do what I wanted it to do, right? If we look at this layout, whoops, sorry. I really wanted this table. I wanted this to come over straight over at this table, and it didn't do that for me. And you do have some options within Excel. Let me just undo what I did. You have some options within Excel when you paste, right? That's my clipboard. And you can say, just paste the values. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Which is, it's telling me that's what you already did. You already did that. You pasted those. And it's just not going to look quite the way I want it. You know, I'm going through and just pasting that in, and that's not what I wanted. But I did want to show you that, you know, there are different options within this So depending on the browser you're using, it may paste better than what mine just did. Mine's going to take a little more manipulation in order to make it work right. So this 3 credits is for that class. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And I'm going to put it right here. So if we want to be able to see this a little better, which we do, let's go ahead and broaden that out a little. And you'll notice that this is at 100%. So I'm going to take this down a little so I can see a broader view of this. And they don't need to be taking up that much space. So notice how I highlight that, and I'm going to just shrink that down. And that'll shrink all of them. See how that shrunk all of them down into that area. All right, so there's working in technology. Let me drag that out a little further so we can see that. And now I'm getting someplace. So let's go ahead and cut that out. Again, we were going to put that right here on the line for the class. Notice this is core curriculum, and that's fine. We can leave that saying, hey, that's a core curriculum, but I want to be able to total up these credit hours easily. Now, as I'm coming down through this, I see some things. I see fall first semester. I see a bunch of fall onlys, fall onlys, fall onlys. And that's for that particular class. So this first semester, it's saying that 170 is a fall only. So I'm going to cut that, paste that over there too. That's also fall only, because that's important information. As a matter of fact, as I've already said in class, by the time you watch this, that is the most important thing to figure out in the first week of class, is which ones are only offered in the fall, which ones are only offered in the spring, and sign up for those so you don't miss them. And it happens every single year. I'll have somebody that did not get in the right class, and then they're like, hey, can you offer this? And the answer to that is no. Because so many times you can basically blame it on the students that came before you. So many times I have offered a class just for one student, and then they don't even sign up for it. And so I'm kind of done with that. Make sure you're in the classes when you're supposed to be in the classes. So less important here, core curriculum. That's kind of just listing out to you, hey, this is a core curriculum for this degree. And it's kind of nice to know, but not necessarily the most important. Fall only is important, and the credit hours are important, right? So let me go ahead and now see, all I'm doing is cutting and pasting. And yes, it does take time, but this is going to help you immensely as you try to go through this program. So I have got, let me drag that out further. So I've got 170, 180, 185 on my list. And for some reason, I don't know what happened to the others. So let's grab 191. And it's recommended that you take English 101. Now that you don't have to do. You can move any of the general educations around. I actually have some tools in my way, so I can't even see what's going on. So let me move that. And it's both semesters. So this is a recommendation. A lot of students already took this in high school, so they don't even take this class because they've already taken it, right? So if you don't know what to do, you just follow this course sequencing. That's all you do. Just follow it right along. If you're like, you know what, I'm not taking 101 yet, I'm going to do something else, then do it. Do something else. All right, so there's our, we'll go ahead and grab that first since I've already got this planned out. Formatted out, I should say. So this is pretty easy to do. It's not very difficult. I'm just moving information around. And again, yours may have actually copied better, and it's already listed this way. What I'm basically saying here and showing you this is, you know what you need to do? You need to get it to look like that. Get it to look like that. That's what you need to do. Make it look like that. So I can say here, the notes actually are supposed to be over here. So we'll just move that over. Credits, we know where that is. That's right there. Requirements. Actually, that was not the notes, was it? There's our requirements and the course is here. So I'll just move that down a little right to this point because really this fall first semester is more important. You could say, you know what, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to put it over on this side. That kind of formatting, you know, whatever you want to do, it just needs to be clear to read. So at this point, I'm trying to teach you a few things here. We're trying to teach you that, you know what, you're going to need to do this in your job. You're going to make spreadsheets in your job. And some of you have taken classes over this, but most of you have not. This is just introducing you a little bit to a spreadsheet so you'll know a little bit about what you're doing. All right, so I already did securing operating systems. That's where that went to. That's just hanging out down below. So I'm going to delete that stuff. And there's my 101. And then here's total semester credit hours. Copy that. And I'm going to put that, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll put it in this one. And notice that we've got a number here, 15. Well, that's great, but I don't want that. What I want you to do later on, so you don't have to do it now, but in another video, I'm going to show you that you need to say this is the sum of this information here. Ah, didn't like it. Oh, that's it's because I did not hit my bracket. Sorry. Yeah, you don't hit that and you don't get it right. Right, now I don't need it to be divided by anything. And there's my 15, and now that's totaling up for me. So I have another video that talks about that. But that's what you want it to do, because you can use this, right? You'll be using this later. Now, the other thing you're going to do is you're going to add a field over here. So I'm going to stretch that out and say taken, or when taken. That's really tiny. It's we got different formats going on, right? So I don't like that. You shouldn't like it either. You should change all of your text to be the same thing. So we'll say just Calibre is fine. And notice it's got an 18 here because that's what everything else was. So we'll set it to 14 on everything. And you'll see that it was also gray. So let me change that. So this font color should be black. We'll change it to black. Now it's all the same. All right, so this is the important part. When taken, this would be taken fall 2023 as I do this video. So now I'm going to grab this little tiny square right here. You can see that change and drag that down. And notice how it renumbered for me. It's like, oh, I see that you said 23. So I'll just put 24, 25, 26. That's not really what I wanted. So I will copy, and there's a way to make sure it doesn't do that, but I will just copy and then paste those down. So I'm going to be grading your whole sheet at the end with calculations and everything, but what I'm looking for in this particular assignment is this kind of format for each semester. So I'm going to paste in the next semester with when have you taken it or when will you be taking it. This is to force students to make sure that they are in the right courses. You should be in every one of these courses right here. This one, right, that's optional. You can take that when you want, and you can put something else there if you want. But again, if you don't know, then you take it, right? You take it at the same time. I would say if you didn't get into the English professor you wanted, then you probably don't want to take that right now. But these others you need to take then, because the cybersecurity degree, as I have already said, is going to build on this information and build on this information. And when you are missing courses, it makes the next class a little tougher for you. Not impossible, just tougher. All right, so that's really it. What you're going to turn in is going to be a compilation of fall, spring, with all this outlined, especially when are you taking that? Because again, a lot of students have already taken something. They need to mark that down. EAC is awesome when it comes to helping you know what degree you have and when you can complete it. You have no idea yet, if you go to any other educational institutions, how poorly they do this. And so it's very vital in the same breath as basically saying, you know what, you guys really need a spreadsheet. Every time you go and you're getting education, you make a spreadsheet. And when am I taking this? When do I plan to finish that? So that you know where you're at. And I actually would say that later on you put a little checkbox here, or you may just type in complete or done or something like that. But you know, putting in a check mark is cool, and you can check these off, saying, "Okay, I did that. I did those." For those of you who like to do little check marks. All right, so that's really the end of that. I'm going to go ahead and show you pasting in the second semester just to go through it again, but we'll be going through the same thing that I just did, so you can stop watching if you want to. Okay, so let's jump down here. Now I've got this information in, so I don't need it. I'm not going to grab that. I am going to grab this because I really don't want to grab it again. And I don't need the last part either because I have that. So I'm just going to grab the middle. Notice there's an elective in there. And I'm going to skip a line. That's kind of important. And you'll remember that really we pasted it here. That's why I always leave a gap, because you just never know how it's going to go when you're copying and pasting. So now it's a lot easier. I've already got it formatted. I already know that's going over there. I can now take this information and I can copy it and I can paste it right here. And that's very easy for me to do, right? It's already done. So that's all finished. And now, right, this is going to be moving over. So let's go ahead and this is the tedious part. There's our credits. And our spring ones. All right, cut that, put it up here. And I could just type a 3, right? It's not like I have to copy paste this. I could just delete all that information because I can see that it's the same. Whoops. Cut. That's the X, Control X. If you're on Windows, Command X if you're on the Mac. Okay, cybersecurity. There's an elective. So let me grab that. Just gonna grab these. There's general elective. CIS 210. So begins the big cybersecurity classes. So we got to have that's going to equal 3 credits. This is kind of, they all equal 3 credits, which you should know. But yeah, you need to note that your elective and general elective need to be 3 credits. Now you may say, hey, McBride, what are you talking about? Which ones, why, or how, what is this? And what do I do with it? Go talk to counseling about that. We counsel you on the courses that you need to take. These are our specialities. And the speciality of the general people, whoops, that went the wrong way, is to know the generals and which ones you need to take. I know that's spring only, so I'm just going to fill it down, copy that, and fill and paste that there. Obviously, these are electives, so actually that should be, sorry, over here. That's what was wrong with my 3. I didn't need to add a 3 there. That was the description. That's core curriculum. And now I'm going to total it again. This must be for me AC approved list. You can look at that. That's the elective stuff. To clear contents. All right, right here, we will sum it up again. So we'll say this equals the sum. Whoops, I am not doing well. I'm hitting my numbers. And there's 15. Now this one's ready. Now you can see I've still got this, the different type that's happening. So a lot of times I'll just put it all in there, do what I'm gonna do, and then hit this button. Oh, apparently, there we go. I was gonna say, apparently that does not work. It does. So now they're all, see if you hit both of those, now they're all set, right? And you're gonna do that for your third and fourth semester. So there's our fall, and then spring, and then fall, and then spring, and then you're gonna save it. I would save it as, you know, under your name. All right, so this is gonna save this automatically. I should mention that it's book 7 there. So if I hit close on this, just close this. Like, actually, I'll just hit it. Right? Just killed it. Right? It's gone. It's actually there. And so there's, I think it was book, you edited this, so that's 7. Let's see if that's the one. Hey, I double clicked it. I'm sorry. There it is. So that's book 7. I can come up here and say this is James. Getting a phone call. So hold on a minute.